So we're out here in the hayfield. When I was showing you the bugs and us swathing the hay, that was on Saturday. So today is Wednesday. What I do is I come out here in the evening before and make sure the hay is completely cured, and that's what I'm doing now. When I say I told you there's two ways: it's green or it's wet. Okay, so green is it's not cured. So we cure it completely out, which means we just completely dry it out, and then I'll let it sit overnight, and the moisture comes back in. And as the moisture's leaving in the morning, then we'll when the moisture's when we're about 2 hours out from baling, we'll start raking, and then we'll start baling after that. So what I'm doing, I just pulled out here in the field. I'll try to find one of the heaviest windrows, and then we'll look at the hay. So it's 97 degrees and 30-mile-an-hour wind. So yeah, I bet we're cured now, because we were close yesterday. We were about 80% there yesterday. So I actually thought we'd be baling this morning, but it was a no-go. So all right, so let's see what we got. You can see the hay here. It's just really dry. Leaves are falling off like that, and then the way I check it to make it secured is grab it like this, push it together, like that, and move it apart. Okay, so it all broke, so we're good. So what happens here is we'll let it sit overnight. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Tomorrow is going to be a little sketchy. We're got a chance of rain and overcast. So that means we're going to have some moisture in the morning, and maybe too much. I don't know. We'll see. But I wanted you to see it when it's super, super dry, and it is really dry now. So, so you want to make sure that the stems, that's where it's all at, and the stems break. So we're dry, still green, still dry. The leaves are shattering. See how the leaves are shattering? So in the morning we'll have moisture, and you'll see the leaves will stay on, and that's real important about our alfalfa hay. All right, so we'll see y'all back here in the morning, and hopefully, I don't know what time, hopefully we're raking and baling, and this hay will be completely different than what you just watched. So just remember how super dry it is right now, and then in the morning when the moisture's leaving, then we'll start baling. Well, so it's the next morning. Well, no, it's not. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What happened was we come down here early in the morning and start baling, and it was actually just right. And then the clouds came over, and we got 1/100th. So 1/100th of an inch of rain. That's like just enough rain to wet the concrete. And the hay got too wet, so we had to quit. And so now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the hay is actually just right. Oh yeah. And I mean, it's really ready to bale. See the leaves? Remember how the leaves are just cracking off? The leaves are staying on now. See that? So the moisture is really just right, but I'm not going to start baling at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Because just guaranteed, as soon as we start baling, the sun will come out and the moisture will be gone, and I'm not doing that. I've screwed up hay so many times. I'm gonna stick to what I know. And what I know is let it sit all night, let the dew, not the rain, but the dew, get the moisture in the leaves, and then as the dew's leaving, then we'll bale it. Yeah, it's part of being in the hay deal. But you can see we started raking, and we got some of this over here raked too. But yeah, I'll be back in the morning. It's part of putting up hay, but I just wanted to show you that 1/100th of an inch of rain can shut us down. We can't. It's too much moisture. We can't bale. So the hay looks really good, actually, beautiful. I mean, truthfully, this is perfect for baling, but you're not tricking me. I ain't freaking baling at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, we got the tractor sitting over there ready to start raking, and the baler sitting there ready to start bale. So we'll be back in the morning. Well, we're still out here trying to bale hay. believe it or not. So we laid this hay down a week ago almost. Maybe it's Sunday we laid this hay down. And we can't get it up. So we were going to start baling Wednesday. We just started raking, and I mean, we no more started raking, and a little cloud come over, and we got 1/100th of an inch of rain. I mean, 1/100th. And that was just enough to kill us. So I thought, well, let's shut her down tomorrow, it'll be fine. And so then Thursday, just get a little bit too much to do. I mean, it's just wet all freaking day. It's like, yeah, dang it. So then Friday, pretty much the same deal. Yesterday it was just damp all day. We raked a little bit, and by the time we got done raking, the wind started blowing really hard, and it just dried it out. We couldn't bale. So I've got Carlos. He's over round baling at the other pivot, or he's not round baling yet. He's waiting. It's just still too wet right now. It's freaking 10:30. Still too wet. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm sitting here waiting. I've got this tractor with my second set of rakes on there. I'm gonna try to rake some hay here. This hay's still good, and then square bale it. It's just gonna be striped. So it's gonna be striped with that. It's still, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's still good hay. It's not like I'm selling the hay. The square bales, so for me, I just put up just enough square bales just for me. I don't sell any of my square bales. If I do, it's in the field. It's like, once I stack them in the barn, I'm not taking them out of the barn. Here's one of the tricks. So it seems like I've been doing this for years. So what I do is I come over here where this Bermuda grass is, edge of the field, and I just walk through the field. If you look at my boot, there's no moisture on it. So I just drag it through there, and now look at it. See all that moisture in there? That's all to do. So that's too much. That's just all there is to it. We'll sit here, and what I'll do, when I just start getting like 4 or 5 little drops on my toes, then I'll go out there and I'll test that hay. And it's usually then I can start raking. And it doesn't bother me to rake a little bit of moisture over with my hay, because I'm going to be going raking for an hour or so. And then by the time I get back with the baler, then that moisture should be gone. But you don't want to rake it with too much moisture, because then you're just off till tomorrow. So it's kind of a fine line. You gotta, I would say raking is almost just as important as knowing the baler. So you gotta know, you can't rake it, you know, when it's too dry. You can't rake it when it's too wet. You gotta know when to stop. You gotta know when to start. Gosh dang it! Hopefully I can freaking. I need a little breeze. I've got nothing. I guess I'll just sit in my Hummer and wait. So me and old JC, she can swat flies. All right, I'm gonna swat flies with JC.
20 minutes later.
Well, okay, it's been about another 20 minutes. Let's check it. Let's check this moisture, see if this moisture is getting any better. We're still 10-15 minutes away, at least. We're gaining. Dang it. All right, try again in a minute. Damn it. Man, what a pain in the ass. See if I can get out here without hitting anything. So you wonder why so many farmers commit suicide. Because all the shit is a pain in the ass. I hate freaking farming. How you getting along? I'll be damn. I've been baling here for a while. I'm almost out of moisture now though, but my tractor broke down, so I'm done. The gearbox overheated, I guess. It melted. It blew the cap out of the gearbox and blew oil everywhere and melted the gearbox cap. You know, right behind the PTO. Yeah, the gearbox got super hot. I mean, it's like sizzling hot and smoking, and the oil, and it melted the cap, the fill cap, and now it's blew oil everywhere. Yeah, not good, not good. So I'm shut down here, but I was just about out of moisture here, so starting to lose leaves. Well, typical farming, something blows up. It's usually got to do with something hot and oil. Melted the cap off. That is not good. That's a new one on me. Every time I go to the tractor deal and it's like something's wrong, they go, we've never heard of that. Somebody's gonna say, well, it has to do with your boots and spurs. So I don't know about that. I've never melted the cap off of a hydraulic gearbox. Freaking tractors. I guess I'm done. I've got all the hay picked up.